Doop 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 doo. Hello everybody. Hopefully we actually get online this time. It's only been a couple seconds, so I should give it a little bit more time. That of course is if Twitch wants to cooperate with me, which is not always the case. Doop 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 doo. Oh yes, awesome, I am live. Okay, that's good. Alright, I was worried about that for a second, but it looks like we are good to go. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Name That Tune stream. I know it's been a little while, but, holidays and whatnot. So anyway, if you guys have not stopped by before, I guess I should give a brief rundown of how this whole little thingy works. Excuse me. So basically, what's gonna happen is that I'm going to, when we get started, which will be a little bit, I'm going to play a song. And you guys in the chat are going to try to guess what the song is. So I do have a pretty specific format that I like answers to be in because I am a little bit picky. Basically, you need to tell me what the game is and what the song is. So if I play like the Super Mario Brothers theme song, I would like you to answer Super Mario Brothers overworld theme, pretty much. When it comes to song titles, I tend to be pretty lenient as long as I know what you're talking about because I know that a lot of things don't have official titles or they've got multiple translations or whatnot. So, yeah, but yeah, basically. If you get the answer right, you get 5 points. If you get it partially correct, as in you get the game right, but you're nowhere close on the name, or other instances, I give out partial points. Kind of on my own discretion. You'll get 2 points. There's 15 songs. The person who has the most points by the end of the stream gets named the reigning champ and has their name plastered on the bottom of the stream for next time. As you can see, Taku has been our reigning champ last time, and this is actually his second time in a row. I actually don't know if he's here right now. He might be doing other stuff. But let's see. He might show up late, and he's actually pretty good. He's got a pretty wide knowledge of game music. So yeah. I did make this week's well, not this week's. I did make this playlist easier than normal. I would say there's less obscure tracks in here. It's also a pretty chill playlist because I'm just in kind of that mood. So yeah. So anyway, that's enough explanations. It seems like we've got mostly the same old crew here. So why don't we just get started? So yeah, let's go. Oops. The next, this is why I wish you could turn off autoplay, which you really can't anymore on YouTube. But the next piece, played a few seconds, but hopefully, nobody, caught that one. So anyway, yes, that was indeed, Fire Emblem Awakening. Don't speak her name. There's, I think, a couple of different translations, but Don't Speak Her Name is the official one, I believe, but that really didn't seem to be an issue for most of you guys. Anyway, everybody who guessed got 5 points except for Striker, Raresby, and Sanic because you guys only gave like the game. I need both in order to get full points. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, again, that one was pretty easy. This is I generally made this an easier playlist than usual, although I do have some tougher ones towards the middle and end. So anyway, since there didn't seem to be too much controversy over that one, let's just start the next song. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I know that there's a pretty sizable Twitch delay this time because I don't know why. It seems even longer than normal, which is weird. So I'm gonna need just a moment to catch up. Majora. Anyway, since I know that there's such a delay, I'm not going to spoil it for just a moment. Okay. So, okay, yeah, that seems good enough. So, anyway, who said it was an obscure RPG? Ringrow, you said that was an obscure RPG. It doesn't get any less obscure than Pokemon. Anyway, yeah, so that was Pokemon, Black and White's Relic Castle theme. Did Raresby? Yeah, I already did Raresby. Heisei, I did not do Heisei. Alright. So yes, that was, Pokemon Black and White's Relic Castle theme. That's actually, fun fact, my favorite dungeon theme in Pokemon history. It's fantastic. I love that song. It's great. But anyway, yeah, I'm just catching up on everything. All right, it seems like I've got everybody's stuff. Doey Wario, I'm sorry, but the Desert Ruins area thing, I think is what you said. I'm sorry, I couldn't give you full points for that, but you did get 2, so you're at 7. Raresby's at 7. Super Flaming is at 10. Triforce of Shininess, you're at 10. DC's at 10. I believe Mario 12, Lord Majora, and Heisei all jumped in with 5 there. So yeah, okay. So anyway, let's get to the next song, shall we? They're not all that short. Actually, a lot of them are some of the longer. There's actually, I tried to make sure that I didn't do anything that was like over 5 minutes, but I do have some longer. I do have some longer tracks. So let's get on with song 3, shall we? Okay, so we still got a few answers rolling in, so I'm gonna wait. Yeah. Um. Oh, Triforce, you were right the first time. I would have taken both Sad Sun and Sun Tower. Well, I guess I just spoiled it. So yeah, that was the Paper Mario 64 Sun Tower or Sad Sun theme. If I wanted to be, I'm actually, that's one of my favorite songs in the entire game, and it pisses me off because you hear it once per playthrough, and you can actually go through the entire room so fast because all you have to do is jump up the tower, talk to the sun, and leave. You can listen to the entire, you can get through the entire game without even hearing a full loop, which makes me sad because it's a fantastic song. But anyway, if I wanted to be really mean, there's actually if you go, this song is probably one you definitely hear if you've ever played Paper Mario, because you have to talk to the sun in order to get Lackluster to spawn. But if you actually go back to the tower after you clear the clouds out at the end of chapter 6, they actually play a second song, which I didn't know for years. So if I wanted to be really, really mean, I could have played the Happy Sun Tower, which is not nearly as good of a song, granted, but but it's just I was so shocked that I didn't know about it. But yeah, this is one of my favorite songs in Paper Mario. Paper Mario is actually got a really underrated soundtrack, I think, as well. It's fantastic. But anyway, yeah. Enough babbling about that. Let's get started with song number 4. We're actually moving through at a decent clip, but we're getting into some of the longer ones now. So yeah. Okay, so that was the end of that. Okay, so there's something actually a little bit interesting about this one, so I'm gonna have to explain. All right, so that song was technically called Atlantis, and it was from Banjo-Tooie. A couple of you guys got Banjo-Tooie in general, and I gave you partial points. So Atlantis is the underwater area of Jolly Roger's Lagoon, which is one of the areas in the game. So Krieger Zeta, he said, Jolly Roger's Lagoon underwater area. I gave you full 5 points. A handful of you guys. DC updated his answer. So, oh well. All right. All right. Sorry, DC, but I'm gonna have to stick to my guns a little bit here. Because I do say only one answer per person per song. It's written right there. It's rule one, so I'm gonna have to stick by it. Okay. So here's the thing. A couple of people just said Banjo-Tooie, Jolly Roger's Lagoon. Well, you said Jolly Roger's Bay, but I'm gonna cut you slack on that. But anyway, the thing is, I was going back and forth on this. I couldn't take full points for that because Jolly Roger's Lagoon, the above ground music and the underwater music are very, very different songs. Like the above water music is like boo 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 boo. It's like a sea shanty, and this is the underwater theme, which is, as you can listen to, very different from that. But since it is, you guys were technically right. It was Jolly Roger's Lagoon. I decided to give everybody who said that more than my usual partial point allotment. So normally I give 2 points for partials. So it was Heisei, Triforce, and DC who just said Jolly Roger's Lagoon. I gave you guys all three. I gave you guys all 3 points for that. So in this case, Triforce and DC are still tied at number one with 18 points each. So yeah, that's how that worked out. Yeah, um, if the above ground version of Jolly Roger's Lagoon wasn't so drastically different, I wouldn't be so picky about this. But they are two. It's not like they're two. It's not like the underwater version's just an instrument swap. It is a completely different melody. So I had to stick to my guns on that one. But anyway, just to give the point roundup, Triforce and DC are tied with 18 points each. Super Flaming's got 14, I think. Yes, Super Flaming does. And then you've got a handful of fives and sevens. Now I should let you guys know, if you're not sure what the name of the song is, or if you think it might be a game and you're not sure, feel free to guess. I do not deduct points for wrong answers, so feel free to throw anything out there, even if you think it might be wrong, because it's better to guess and to get nothing than guess and have the chance to get something than to not answer and have an absolute chance of getting nothing, if that makes sense. Um, Lugia, that was song number 4. So we've got 11 songs left. Plenty of time to catch up if you want to play. So yeah, let's get started with song 5. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds on my end just because I know that there's a gigantic stream delay. I will say a lot of you guys guessed Donkey Kong. I'm not surprised that you did guess Donkey Kong because I can hear it, but unfortunately that was not true. Right. So okay, the it's been about 30 seconds. That's probably enough. That was actually from Rayman Origins. The actual song is called Desert of Didgeridoos First Staffs, but obviously you're not going to know that unless if you've looked up the soundtrack. So I would have accepted like Desert Level. I believe Craig or Zeta actually said musical desert level. So good job, you got full points. And anybody who said Rayman in general, I gave partial points to. So Doey Wario, even though you said you gave out an answer you thought was BS, I gave you points anyway because you said Rayman and that was close enough for for my tastes. Kylier, hello. 5 songs in, 10 left. So you've got plenty of you got plenty of time. So anyway, the standings right now, DC and Triforce are still tied at 18, but Super Flaming's got 14, Krager Zeta's got 10. So it's actually pretty it's actually pretty close, all things considered. Especially since we've got plenty of points, plenty of songs coming up in general. Let me look at the playlist. Okay, yeah, we're it's kind of weird. I did a different kind of structure for the playlist this time. I kind of tried to make it more make sense musically than I did kind of in terms of difficulty. Like obviously I did some of the more obvious ones first, like Fire Emblem or Pokemon. So it's going to get a little bit harder, and then towards the end it gets a little bit easier before getting. Yeah, it's actually so. I'd say this middle section right here coming up is probably one of the harder ones. But not the specific next song. Like after this next song, I think it'll get a little bit harder. But this next song is probably, I think a lot of you guys are probably going to get this one. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, I was pretty lenient with this one because a lot of you guys guessed Animal Crossing, obviously. I knew that one. I was pretty lenient with this one because like knowing that it's specifically 3 p.m. is a little bit picky. So I decided to instead just like if you said midday or town or afternoon, I gave you the full points. So yeah, a couple of people just said a season. I don't think seasons determine the song actually. Like I think it was AI just said like winter, I believe, at some point. Overworld in January. Yeah, it does. It's more based on time of day than season. So I gave you partial for that. A lot of you guys just said Animal Crossing. You got partial points for that. So anyway, scores. Triforce DC, you're at 23. Super Flaming, you're at 19. Krager is at 12, I believe. Rare Speed, I believe you got full points. Yeah. So anybody who said midday or afternoon or whatever, or even just overworld, I gave full points because again, like you're supposed to remember that it plays specifically at 3 p.m. And a lot of these are remixes of each other anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, maybe maybe some people might say I'm just so generous, whatever. I give the points don't matter. But anyway, yeah, coming up is probably the most upbeat song in the playlist, so it'll be a little bit jarring for me personally, but I remembered that it existed, and I needed to put it on, so yeah. Okay, now I just need to check the before I say anything. I just need to check. Okay, so Triforce didn't answer. Maybe Triforce has already answered by the the time I've said this, obviously. But okay, so anyway, I was actually. Oh, okay. There you are. There you are, Triforce. Okay. Right on time. Right in time to make me look like a jackass. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, yes. This was Tales of Symphonia. The Venturers Colony. I forget what the name of the town in the game was because it's been years since I played Tales of Symphonia. But I think Zero Maru guessed a town name, and I just gave it to you because you're probably right. You're more right than I am because I can't remember the name of that town. But yeah, um, I was actually really happy when Blue Vexer, you got it like right off the bat. I was really happy because I thought that this might have been one that people struggled with. So I was like, yes, people know it. I actually need to finish. I need to finish Tales of Symphonia. I got halfway through and then I stopped because it, I think I was playing it 2013, so it was a combination of real life and SMT4 coming out that I didn't finish it. So I need to go back and play it. But the reason why this one's on the I don't know if there's a remix of this in Tales of the Abyss because I've beaten that and I don't remember it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, I originally had one of the battle themes from Tales of Symphonia on this list, but it really didn't fit the rest of the songs. So I decided I need to pick something else, and I decided to go with this one because it's my favorite town theme in the game. So yeah, let's just move on to the next piece. Okay, awesome. So yeah, that one was fun for me to watch because, um, because of a few things. Hold on a moment. I actually just need to. Where the hell is that person's name? Sorry, somebody got points and I can't find. I can't find them. Hold on. I can't find them on my document. I should say. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So now, hold on a moment. All right. Okay. So, all right. Sorry, I got all the points in. Anyway, a lot of you guys guessed Persona. And I can blame you guys for that because the Persona series actually, the composer of the Persona series did compose this song, Shoji Meguro. This was from Trauma Team. The song title is called "On the Job." So like it was fun seeing all of the SMT and Persona Q guesses because it's just funny seeing people being able to recognize the style of a specific composer is very interesting to me. But anyway, Blue Vexer, right in the nick of time, got the full 5 points. Good job, dude. DC, since you guessed Trauma Team and you were pretty close, you got the 2 points. But that does put you ahead of Triforce at 30 points. Triforce, you're at 28. Flaming's at 21. I believe the next runner-up is Krager at 12. Yeah, so yeah, a couple of people just guessed Trauma Center in general, and I gave you those points. And if you guessed Trauma Center, then you know me too well, pretty much. So anyway, yeah, I'd say the next one coming up is probably one of the harder ones in the. This next one is probably, in my opinion, the hardest one in the. Eh, hmm. Okay, this next one's probably is one of the hardest ones in the playlist, so don't feel bad if you don't get it, but it's also one of my personal favorites, so I had to play it. So, yeah. All right. Okay. So actually, yeah, a lot of you guys got that. More of you guys got that one right than I thought. A lot of you guys did guess Castlevania, which I figured would be a popular guess since it's a similar style, but it was actually Demon's Crest. Yeah. So I was surprised. Specifically, Memorial of the Fallen Ones, which is the credits theme. A couple of you guys guessed Stage One. They have a similar melody, so I can't blame you for that. But I did have to give you partial. So yeah, Triforce, you're at 33. DC, you're at 38. So you guys are still close. Yeah. So yeah, I was surprised. I thought that one would have been one of the harder ones, but a lot of you guys got that one. So yeah. Anyway, I'm babbling. On to song 10. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I knew that people were gonna get the Bravely Default as my favorite Final Fantasy. Yeah, I knew a lot of you guys were gonna get that one. That was Bravely Default Flying Fairy. I also said Bravely Second too, because the same song plays in that one. It's got like 5 different names, but I accepted Snowy Area, Eternia, Land of Immortality, Immortal Country. Yeah. I'm not sure which. I'm kind of torn on whether I like Second more than Default, because by all accounts, I think Second is better, like on paper. Like I think the story's better for one. At the very least, the love story is better. Tis and Agnes are Tis and Magnolia. That's a crack ship if I've ever heard one. But anyway, Tis and Agnes is a much blander couple than you and Magnolia. You and Magnolia are adorable. And a lot of aspects of Bravely Second's story I like a lot, and the pacing's just way better too. So like on paper, Bravely Second is better in many ways, but I also didn't get as excited while playing it as I did with Bravely Default, despite Bravely Default's huge pacing issues. So yeah, I kind of go back and forth. I need to replay both to really kind of establish my thoughts a little bit. Bravely BS commentary should do a BS playthrough. Yeah, so, yeah, anyway, yeah, I will say Bravely Default has the far better soundtrack. But anyway, let's just move on to the next track, shall we? Okay then, you guys are getting to know me too well. You guys are all, uh, Doughy Wario, Muramasa is less dead than Devil Survivor. Devil Survivor is something that I'm probably, if I do that again, I'm starting over. Muramasa, if I'm picking up Muramasa again, I'm finishing. I'm finishing Momohime's story. I'm doing it eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. Anyway, yeah. So as you guys, again, you guys get to know me. Have gotten to know me. Gotten to know my musical tastes really well. That was indeed Muramasa the Demon Blade, Seasonal Beauties. It was the A variation, but if you had just said Seasonal Beauties, I gave you full points. Blue Vex, I think you said 4 seasons. I gave that full points too because I'm sure I've seen that as the translation for the song somewhere. So yeah. I Okay, so I'm looking at my playlist right now. The next song is way too easy to be this late, but it's too late to change it. So whatever. We're just gonna play it. Let's go. Yeah, so that was a short one, and people are still putting in their answers. So I need a couple of seconds to type everyone's in. Yeah, that one just here's the thing. Um that one I added late into the thing and I don't into the playlist and then I usually reorder them later. I didn't order that one right. That one was supposed to be way earlier because it's well you all have your answers in. It's Kirby, it's Rainbow Resort Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Adventure Kirby's Adventure also gets the same amount of points because it's a remake. But I need just a moment to get um everybody's things in. So if you'll give me just a second. The heck? Oh yeah, Monado got full points. Uh, oh yeah, Super Fleming, don't lose hope. You're at 35 points, so you're up there. Let's see. I haven't. If Shininess and DC have answered, they're at. They probably did, but they're in the 40s. But you're not far behind Flaming. You're doing pretty well. Let's see. Oh yeah, Shininess did answer, so that means you're at 48. DC is now at 53. Yeah, if you just said Kirby, I'll give you partial points because obviously. Sonic to Mario, you are at 12. Good job. Um, yeah, good guess. So yeah. Okay, it looks like I've caught everybody's points up. If I did make a mistake, you guys can call me out on it. But again, this is just for fun. Um, uh, Shininess, it plays both in stages and in the map, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so this honestly is probably one of the harder ones, this next coming one. But thankfully, the last two are actually, I made sure to make the last two a little bit easier so that people actually might get one. for the last point. But song 13, let's go. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that again was another hard one. I was actually surprised a few of you got it right away though. That was Devil Survivor: Eternal Life. Someone, I don't remember who, called it End of the Week. It makes sense. It does play at the end of the week, so I gave you full points for that. Oh, VGMRA, it's a Devil Survivor. You get points too. Yeah. Man, Devil Survivor is so good. I need to replay that. But anyway, oh, and Flaming God points as well. Okay. So anyway, we've got 2 points left, 2 songs left. Triforce is at 53, DC's at 58. So, DC needs to drop the ball in order to lose his lead here. But, yeah. Okay, let's go with the, okay. Okay. I should explain this next song because it is a little, it is a special case. Alright, so, the song I'm playing right now, is a remix from an earlier game, in this game series. It didn't actually play in the game that it's from. It was soundtrack only, essentially. So, if you guess, both the game where it's on the soundtrack for, or the game that it's originally a remix of, if that makes sense, you'll get full points. I'm sorry, I'm not making too much sense. But basically, this is like the one instance in this where I will accept 2 different game names, I suppose. So yeah, I don't. If you know the song that I'm gonna play, this will make sense. But you know what? I'll just stop babbling. Let's just play the song. Alright, that was weird. So the YouTube rip I was using just decided to stop instead of slowly fading out like every other YouTube rip. Okay, whatever. Yeah, alright, so, okay, so I was kind of confusing with how I explained it. With how okay, so that song was from the Shantae Pirate's Curse soundtrack. It was called Challenge Accepted, but it's a straight up remix of the Shantae Risky's Revenge track Through the Trees. So if you had said either of those with the game, like with the corresponding game, I would have given you full points. A few of you guys did say Shantae though, so you got partial points for you guys who did guess Shantae. So good for you. Yeah. All right. So anyway, point roundup before the final song. DC, you're on the lead, 58 points. Triforce of Shininess, 53, not far behind. I believe with a solid third place, we've got Super Flaming 85 with a respectable 37. Good job, dude. VGMRA, Alec, VGMR Alec, however you say your name, I'm sorry. You got 20. Krager Zeta, you got 21. Blue Vexer, you got 17. So yeah. Oh, okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is where I did a bad job explaining what was going on. Alec, VGMR Alec. The song didn't play in Pirate's Curse, but Jake Kaufman did do a remix of it, and it's only on the soundtrack. I played the soundtrack version from Pirate's Curse because quality-wise, it's a hell of a lot better than the really tinny DSi version. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I did a terrible job explaining that. I should have just played it and let you guys guess normally. So, anyway, one last song, and this one again is not too hard either. So I kind of wanted to end on a more fun one since this has been a more low-key playlist than normal. Like, I don't think I really had any, I think like Venturous Colony was pretty upbeat, but most of this was pretty chill, so I wanted something that was more upbeat but fit with the mood, so we got this next song coming up, which is an easier one. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, let me just 42. Okay. All right. So, that's the end of the stream. Um, yeah, a lot of you guys got that one. It was indeed Yoshi's Woolly World. But anyway, with a grand total of 63 points, our winner today is indeed. Let me just. Sorry, Taku, but if you don't, if you don't come to defend your throne, then you lose. Anyway, our reigning champ this month is DC Dungeon Master. Good job, dude. You've been doing really well for. I think you've been here for at least since stream 2, but definitely the past few streams you've been doing really well, and you've just barely lost almost every time. So, congrats on winning. Anyway, yeah, I'm really glad you guys enjoy the Yoshi streams as well. We've only got one world left, so I'm gonna need to stream that sometime soon so we can finish the game. Anyway, a lot of people wanted to know their scores, so let's go down the list. Doey Wario, you ended up with 16. Striker Vylon, you ended with 6. Rarespy, you had 16. Cynic the Mario, you had 12. Super Flaming 85, you had 42. I know that you're in third place pretty solidly, but 42 is pretty good. We've had some sessions where like people end in the 40s. So yeah. Chose Sendin, you had 5. Triforce, second place, buddy. I'm sorry, but you had 58. You were really close though. You know, it's a lot of you guys are really good at this. Oh, I should give a shout out to Catherine because she gave me some suggestions for songs, and I replaced nearly everything she gave me. It's a good thing she's actually not watching right now because she might feel bad about that. But I do need to thank her anyway because she did inspire me to pick a lot of the songs from this list. So yeah. Anyway, Sonic Kyle, you had 5. VGMR Alec, you had 20. DC obviously 1. Mario 12, you had 7. Lord Major, you had 14. Krager Zeta, a respectable 26. Heisei, you had 8. Ringra had 16. Zero Maru had 16. T-Bone, you had 7. Angel, you had 11. Lugia XD, you had 19. AI Allegiance, I believe you only dropped in like once or twice, but you had 2. David Cortez, you had 2. Kylier, you had 7. Vexer, you had 17. Bazero, I counted you at 4. Monado Guy, you had 10. Calm the Quick, you were at 2. And EX Lucky, and oh, I counted David Cortez twice. So David Cortez, you actually have 7. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, if I made any mistake counting up your points, I'm sorry. Obviously, this is going up on YouTube, and the chat's right there, so you can call me out on my hack fraudness if and when I made a mistake, which I'm sure I did. So yeah, yeah, I did a pretty. I think this was a good one. It was nice to do a nice chill list for once. I'm gonna need to get more recommendations from friends of mine though, because obviously, as you guys could tell, I've got a certain style, and I tend to pick from a lot of the same games. So I think that might be. So I think I might need to shake things up for whenever we get to session 5. But yeah, yeah, that was a good stream. I'm glad everybody managed to stop by, and I hope you tune in next month for when we do this again. Later.